On February 24th, 2015, just after sunrise, emergency lines in a quiet New Jersey neighborhood began lighting up. Residents all described the same thing, a heavy smell of gas drifting through the air. Police officers, firefighters, and gas company crews rushed into the area, trying to track the source. At first, it seemed like a standard leak, but the odor was strong enough that officials didn't take any chances. Dozens of homes, around 75, were quickly cleared out and people were moved to safety, while crews walked the street checking meters and underground lines. One of the police cruisers had its dashcam running. And then, on camera, everything changed in a second. A massive blast ripped through one of the houses. The shockwave hurled pieces of the home across the neighborhood, throwing debris in every direction. The force was so strong that the structure was lifted completely off its foundation. Luckily, the house was under renovation and nobody was living inside at the time. But the explosion still left 15 people injured, most of them firefighters and utility workers who had been trying to find the leak. Several were hurt so badly that they had to be airlifted to nearby trauma centers. Investigators later traced the blast back to a broken 2-inch gas line. But even today, there's still no clear answer about what caused it to snap.
Shots fired. I believe shots fired. If someone can just RTT, I'm going to initiate pursuit. Control band 301, vehicle fleeing from me. I believe a shot fired at my vehicle. I believe that my window was shot.
The officer pushed his cruiser hard, trying to stay on the suspect's tail as the man tore through the neighborhood like he had nothing left to care about. Then, without warning, a bright flash cut through the darkness, followed by a violent boom. The officer jerked back instinctively. A round had just punched straight through his windshield, right where a passenger's face would have been. The dashcam shook from the hit, and his radio crackled with his voice. Shots fired. In that moment, the chase stopped being a pursuit. It became an attack.
Are you still flowing?
I am. The guy shot at me.
You heard that it hit you or just...
He hit my vehicle. I've got a gunshot. He's shooting at me. Give me a second. Just passing the primary school. White Buick.
Yeah, Ridge.
61125. I've got the person pinned in the alley here.
What's the handgun? What's the handgun? What's the handgun?
And then the other emergency using a no hazmat active. Look out for what's your location? Roundabout and 15th Street.
The cruiser slid to a sudden stop, and the officer fired back. 25 shots echoed through the icy night. What the dashcam didn't catch, but investigators later verified, was that the suspect took 2 bullets to the neck. Even wounded, he managed to run for a short stretch before collapsing in a stranger's yard. He wasn't found until almost an hour later, located by AK-9 team, barely holding on. His name was Austin Clark da Silva, and to the RCMP, he was already a familiar face. Just a few weeks earlier, he'd been arrested during a major bust involving drugs and weapons. Officers had recovered cocaine, piles of cash, and multiple guns, shotguns, handguns, some of them already loaded. But the firearm he used that night was different. A black Glock-style handgun, completely 3D printed, illegal from top to bottom, and deadly enough to prove its point. The most unsettling detail? Incidents like this are appearing far more often across North America than most people realize, as more suspects turn to illegal firearms. The experience began with the cameraman taking the lead. He was clipped to the zip line with one single carabiner, shaky, loose, and without any backup connection. That was the entire safety setup. This wasn't the kind of zip line that sends you speeding automatically. Riders had to pull themselves forward, hand over hand, controlling their own movement. They also relied on thick gloves to brake and manage speed. The start was calm. He eased himself along the cable, hundreds of feet above the jungle canopy, using only his arms and the thin metal line beneath him. But as he moved across, he made a choice that would almost cost him everything.
Еще?
Еще. Еще. Все.
For reasons no one fully knows, maybe his hands hurt, maybe he thought the hard part was over, he took off his gloves too early. Way too early. He wasn't at a safe point yet, and without gloves, he no longer had a proper way to hold the cable or slow himself down. His body started picking up speed. The GoPro audio catches his breathing tightening. His arms strain as he tries to regain control, but momentum keeps building. By the time he nears the final platform, he's moving far too fast to land safely. In a sudden burst of panic, he jumps, grabbing onto a rope and clip, now hanging over a steep drop. His legs shake. He can't move. He's completely locked in fear. A guide rushes to him, trying to talk him through the moment. After a tense pause, he pushes off and throws himself into the open space. The parachute opens just in time. It fills above him, slowing his fall, saving his life. He survives the ordeal, but it's clear this is an experience he won't be repeating. This incident took place on March 14th, 2025. A man named Samuel was simply driving from one location to another. Early evening, calm, nothing out of the ordinary. But at 8:11 p.m., the tone of his night flipped instantly. A normal drive turned into something he likely never imagined he would face. Still, what happens next is impossible to excuse. Let's walk through it. As Samuel traveled down the highway, the driver of a white truck began targeting him repeatedly. Samuel tried everything, switching lanes, honking, attempting to slow down and create distance. None of it helped. The truck kept coming, tailgating him, cutting in front of him, pushing him again and again. It escalated so badly that Samuel was forced to come to a complete stop. Right there on the highway, cars veered around him, blasting their horns. A major accident could have happened within seconds. So what was this? Was it uncontrollable road rage? Or was the truck driver attempting some kind of insurance-related setup? Whatever the motive, driving like this at highway speeds is more than reckless. It can be deadly. A collision between Samuel and that truck could have had fatal consequences. Why do you think the driver did it? You decide.